Good evening. I am welcoming you all to the meeting tonight for the Costa Mesa Arts Commission, calling the meeting to order on October 3rd at 6 p.m. We will now begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Commissioner Ashendorf, would you like to lead us?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please rise, put your hand over your heart. Begin with me. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. The next order of business is the roll call. Ms. Fatua, excuse me.
Great. Let the record reflect all members are present except for Commissioner Mann, Commissioner Ochoa, and Chair Wondercheck.
Okay, great. Next, we are going to open public comments. Each member of the public will be given a total of 3 minutes to speak. First, we will take comments from those in the council chambers, then those on Zoom. We will only have one time period for each group. There will be no going back and forth. Members of the public in the chambers, now is the time to speak. Please line up on either side of the aisle.
Hello, my name is Samuel Hell. There we go. I feel like I'm in a congressional hearing here. I really like the old conference room thing. Well, I'm here to make about 3 or 4 points, hopefully quickly. I have sent all of the council members or the commissioners an email covering much of the topic, which you may search out in your 500 emails you get a day, but hopefully you can find it. The first thing I want to do is commend the commissioners for the work you do. And I want to suggest to the commission that you encourage the arts to donate some of their art to fundraising purposes and as incentives for not-for-profit volunteers and people who attend their gatherings. I do that. I've given away several pieces of art. Any size of art is not really acceptable. Here I usually do my art, especially in a size that doesn't really impose some kind of decorating decision. It's usually on an easel. And I've done this mostly for veterans purposes, raising money. And they have raffles, sometimes just raffles for people who attend as an incentive. Like I do that for the coffee talk at the local post. I'm a veteran, so I do that sort of thing. So I want to encourage that. A lot of artists have a lot of art and don't know what to do with it, and some do not have enough. So I really am not in the business of selling art, just producing art for these purposes, so I'm in a little different position than a lot of artists. Another point I want to raise is the discussion of AI in the arts. I think I've sent you an extensive memo on that today. And I think with your handbook or rules book for your poet laureate, it would be important to say something about full disclosures where AI is used. What AI is a little vague. Is Grammarly AI? I don't use Grammarly, but probably should, but I don't. But I do use AI to convert my poetry to song. I only use my lyrics. And you'll find that in your email, because you'll find about 15 examples. So I have a YouTube channel, and it's still private. It has about 100 songs on it from my poetry. Most of my poetry is too long for that sort of format. But anyway, you'll see there how wonderful that technology is, and it is not suppressible. We'll have to adapt to it. And that is it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your service. We will now hear from the public via Zoom. If you would like to speak, please use the raise your hand option on your screen. If you are joining the meeting on your phone and you would like to speak, then please press the number 9 to raise your hand and then *6 when prompted to begin speaking. Is there anyone on Zoom?
There are currently no hands raised.
Fantastic. Okay. Public comments are now closed. We will now move on to commissioner comments. So we will start with Commissioner Derderian.
No comments at this time.
Thank you. Commissioner Ashendorf?
Yes, please. Thank you, Chair. Just a couple of things. I wanted to share that I did attend the Art That Transforms, and if you recall, this is one of the nonprofit organizations that our commission awarded grant funds to this year, and they hosted their first event in Orange County at Norma Herzog Center. They provided face painting and art training and some workshops, and they had a live auction of art. So it was wonderful to see our funds in use, and they were excited, and of course, we are listed as a sponsor, so proud to have that participation. Even though Commissioner Ochoa is not here today, I'm very proud to say that I attended her art exhibit, Fruits of Labor. I have to tell you, it's a ginormous mat of vegetables that you can touch and shake, and it was really wonderful. And I don't know how long her exhibit is showing, but so proud to have a commissioner who is engaged in the arts and doing that. Also, a reminder that on October 30th, our Chair Wonderchuck is one of the nominees for Orange County Business Journal Women in Business. So we're really excited to have her representing. And I did want to also give a shout out to the work that Vice Chair and current Chair tonight, Zuckerman, does, because I've had positive feedback from the schools, our local schools who are utilizing ACMA for field trips. And so we're so fortunate to have you here and the work that you're doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Lucia?
Good evening. I just wanted to say I had a pleasure. It was a pleasurable evening attending the Arts OC Awards last week and sitting at the Costa Mesa table. It was a wonderful program that included highlighting the accomplishments of artists and supporters of artists throughout Orange County, and it was nice to see Costa Mesa so well represented. That was a really great event.
I love how Costa Mesa is really showing up as the city of the arts and all of our different points of connection. So I have a couple of comments tonight. The first is that I'm happy that we are celebrating October as National Arts and Humanities Month. So that is exciting. And wearing my ACMA hat for a minute, we were really grateful to host the City of Costa Mesa's Art Venture Awards ceremony at the museum on September 21st. And ACMA is also grateful for receiving $15,000 as part of the Arts and Culture Master Plan initiative called the Free at Segerstrom Center Campus Program that offers free tickets to productions and concerts on the Segerstrom campus, which includes the Pacific Symphony, the Pacific Chorale, South Coast Rep, SCFTA, the Philharmonic Society, and now ACMA. So this year, ACMA is now part of this Free at SCC program by way of offering free arts education workshops to Costa Mesa residents. And the plan is to do a series of workshops throughout this year and next, focusing on different exhibitions and art mediums. We're beginning with a figure drawing workshop, which is inspired by the Yves Saint Laurent exhibition on the 27th of October, and we will explore other modalities for the future. These are ticketed events. They are $10 per person, and they last approximately 2 hours, and they are open to all ages. So we've already secured the live model for this. and they're designed to be interactive and hands-on explorations on ideas or processes represented by exhibitions. And I brought flyers, which are literally hot off the press. So I'm going to hand these out and show them on the screen. So you can go on the website. But we have a sign up where we're prioritizing Costa Mesa residents. So, all right, now switching back to my vice chair and tonight chair role, I wanted to just talk a little bit about hotel tax revenues and the fact that according to the city's budget, they're projected to surpass pre-pandemic levels this year with an estimated $9.6 million anticipated versus the 2022-2023 adopted budget of $7.4 million. So that's an increase of $2.2 million. And as a result of this increase in leisurely travel, revenue is on an upward trend. So due to the shift from consumers spending less on tangible items and more on experiences, spending on travel and leisure is expected to continue a steady rise. So the Arts and Culture Master Plan affirms, quote, that arts drive tourism and revenue to local businesses, unquote. And the recent American for the Arts Economic Prosperity 6 study states that in 2022, nonprofit arts and culture organizations and their audiences generated $151.7 billion in economic activity. So I'm just going to repeat that because it's awesome. $151.7 billion in economic activity. So $73.3 billion of that is in spending by the organizations, which leveraged an additional $78.4 billion in event-related spending by their audiences. So the impact of this economic activity is far-reaching, supporting 2.6 million jobs and generating $29.1 billion in tax revenues and providing $101 billion in personal income to residents. So between the study in 2016 and 2022 nationally, the per-person event-related spending increased from $31.47, so $31.47, to $38.46. So that's a 22% increase, and that matched the rate of inflation during the period. So arts travelers are ideal tourists. They stay longer, they spend more, and that is beyond the cost of admission. And they spend money on items such as meals, parking, babysitters, because they're seeking out authentic cultural experiences. And I think that's what we're offering here in Costa Mesa. So this is my pitch to as we are experiencing this increase in arts driving tourism and revenue, I think it justifies the need to consider a hotel tax and or a percent for art program for the city of Costa Mesa. Thank you. The next order of business is the consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will not be acted upon in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless members of the Arts Commission, staff, or the public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar for discussion. We have one item under consent calendar, the approval of the minutes for the June 6, 2024 Arts Commission meeting. Are there any comments from the commission or from a commissioner who would like to entertain a motion?
I would like to correct my clerical error.
Okay.
It's August 1st.
Okay,
Draft minutes.
thank you. Sorry, the June meeting minutes were already approved, so this is the August 1st. And I am not going to make a motion because I wasn't there, though I read them, and it sounded like it was an interesting meeting.
Unfortunately, we do have to have a yes or no motion. And
Oh, yes.
we will need you to vote, as we only have 4.
Oh, yes, no, I'll vote. I just didn't want to make the motion. So I was calling on another commissioner to make the motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Adopt the minutes with the minor correction.
Okay, and is there a second?
I second.
Thank you very much, and now we can take a vote.
Motion carries 4-0 to approve the August 1st minutes.
Thank you. The next order of business is the monthly reports. So we will have the arts and culture staff report, please.
Thank you, Vice Chair Zuckerman, and good evening to the Arts Commission. So the first up is our art crawl experience that's coming up next weekend. So we're looking forward to that, and we have details for all participants has already been sent out, but I am still taking names for a wait list if you know anyone who'd like to go in case we have people drop out. So just to note that. And then Art Venture, I have a few slides from Art Venture for those of you who weren't able to attend. We had some great pictures, some great turnouts, I think, for all kind of three components of the event. Overall, I think the event was very successful for 2024. We have currently about 51 people, mostly artists, who have filled out our feedback survey for all three parts of the event: the juried art exhibition, the community arts day, and the award ceremony. So far, the average out of 5 stars for each portion is 4.6 and 4.7, so I think that's a good start. So, and next week, leadership for the department will take a look at some of those notes and see what things we can kind of change for next year if we need to. There's a few comments here. Some of the things I noticed were a few people would like to see artwork spread out more. Some people didn't like the Fairview room, which is the small room with Norma Herzog. They didn't want their art in there. Just things like that. So just little tweaks that I think we can make for next year. Let's see, so estimated numbers from the event. Let me slide through these photos too so you can see more. I think we had, it was kind of a guess, but we for sure had 600 people go through the exhibition on the Community Arts Day. And I would guess for the full event, like anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 maybe for the event, kind of people coming through. The Community Arts Day is a little bit different than some of our other events because people do kind of sit and make art and hang out in tents and look at performances and things like that. So, and then I would say for the award ceremony, we had about 350 people. I think it was a great turnout. It felt very full. People were very energized and chatting, and I think it was just a great event, and it had a great energy to it. And then I would say for the juried art exhibition, we probably, it's a little lower, but about 10 to 20 people probably a day would come through and kind of look at the art during the week that it was open. And next year, I may look into kind of some kind of check-in book or cited sheet, see if we can capture more information for that part of the event. And then for next year, for 2025, we do plan to keep the event format largely the same as this year, and we may extend the exhibition for another week or so. So more on that. And, oh, whoops, I have one more Art Venture slide for you, or maybe two. So this is from the Community Arts Day, the one that's up there. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great performances. Award ceremony. And yeah, then that leads me to the Poet Laureate program. So currently the application is open. It's open until October 28th. So if you know anyone who would like to be a part of this program or be the next Poet Laureate, please promote this program to anyone that you know. So far, we only have one new application, so I'd love to see more, and I'll be doing some more work on this too. We have done some social media work on the city platforms, on the department platforms. We also put it in our newsletter, Costa Mesa Minutes. I've posted it on Spark OC, California Arts Council. I'll post it to a few more websites that I can find, like Call for Poets or Artists. I'm planning on doing some paper flyering and then some email blasts to some kind of colleges and high schools. So that's kind of on my radar for this month to do. And if we need to extend this deadline, we can definitely do that too. So it's pretty fluid. And let's see. And the exhibition. So I would encourage you all to see this. This is a great exhibition at the Senior Center. The members of the Senior Center, their Painting for Enjoyment class came together and put a bunch of artwork together to display for this fall. So it's a great exhibition. And I'm going to try to get them all to apply to Art Venture next year so they can be a part of that too, which will be really fun. And then the last thing on my report, I don't think I have a slide for that, so my apologies, but the Free at Segerstrom Center campus, I just want to give a little bit of update for that. We started our second year of this program with some of the changes that we discussed at the end of our last fiscal year. We are not offering the shuttle service as we did last year, but we're offering parking vouchers for people who register for the free shows. And then this year we're also staggering the sign up so that 2 to 4 shows are released at a time to our list of nonprofit groups first, and then if there are still tickets available about a week before each event, we'll post to our social media accounts to get some more signups. This is a first come, first served basis, and we send a link via email to our nonprofit organization contact to an online registration form that automatically closes once the maximum number of tickets have been reached. And the form tells people to reach out to me to be put on the wait list if there aren't any more tickets available. But so far, we've been able to fill the past 3 shows by sending to our nonprofit groups alone. So we haven't had to post on social media, which has been great. But, happy to do that layered approach if we need to, too. And then we also have people who register will come to City Hall and pick up their tickets and their parking vouchers. So far it seems to be working really well, and I think the staggered approach is really good because we can give, we'll put 2 to 3 shows out, a couple weeks before they happen, and that kind of, I think people are more likely to attend that way. And that's it for the Art Specialist Report for October.
Fantastic, thank you. So the next order of business is old business, and it is the Utility Box Art Program Review. So there is a recommendation from the staff that the Arts Commission review the edits and approve the Utility Box Utility Box Art Program Handbook. So there is going to be a staff presentation on this topic now.
I think I could just briefly kind of go through the highlights with all of you and kind of just talk about what I know it's been a couple months since our last meeting, so. Last we met, I highlighted all the areas that we all had discussions about, so I think, let me check on, let's see, I think it starts on page 5. So I know that there was a mention of artists being able to submit more than one design, but only having one accepted, so I added that in there. And then also kind of added a piece that filling out application did not guarantee approvals, just so that was very clear. So I know there's been a little bit of confusion of that in the past. And then the other thing that I added in was the upon acceptance of design by the Arts Commission under the artist honorarium and support, also on page 5. And then that one design, again, reiterated each year. So that's page 5. And then on page 6 was mainly the sponsorship program. So this, let's see, what did I flesh out a little bit there? I did that we wanted the artworks from businesses to be from artists specifically, and that they would be acknowledged on the map and web page, but that an artist design would be on the box instead of kind of a graphic design image. And the cost I bumped up to $3,000, and then I put a inquire about reduced fees. I think Commissioner Dardarian had a comment about that for small nonprofit organizations. And then number 3 on page 6, so businesses are required to solicit an artwork design from a local artist, and that kind of just adds some more specifics to that. And then the honorarium, I know we talked about that a little bit. And then, let's see. And we also added that also on page 6 about the not serving as a specific commercial purpose and being more artistic for the city. So that's also in there. And yeah, I'm just reiterating the honorariums for the artists, regardless of whether they do a sponsorship design or not. And then on page 7, just tentative dates. If this is approved for this meeting, we would open it up next week and keep it open until December for designs. But that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. I personally am really happy with all of these updates, and I know that we kind of got into the details on this a little bit, but I'm really proud of what we came up with. So are there any questions from the commission? Comments? Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner, Vice Chair, Chair tonight, Zuckerman. Just a couple things. A point of clarification on page 7, the application, the installation will begin, you said, in January through June. Will that, and then again, will it open up again in October of the following year? Is this how we're going to be looking at them this time, specific time period?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm trying to kind of have a cycle for them. So we have the application for part of the year open, and for another part of the year, we have like all of them being installed.
Great. And I did want to make one other comment, and that was that I understand, Ms. Garner, that we've had 2 vendors do the vinyl wraps over the course of our 60-some boxes, and I just want to acknowledge them. Wherever you go in any other city, our boxes last, and they look stellar, so to Mesa Art, and the other one, I think, is Mouse Graphics. They've done an extraordinary job. I just want to acknowledge them.
Yes, absolutely. They're great, and they really are flexible, and they just make it happen, and they make it work with the images they receive, and they're really good spirited about it. So we really love having them, and we're lucky to have them here in Costa Mesa too, because they're Costa Mesa businesses. And the other thing I was going to say that I forgot that is on the last page on, let's see, page 14 is the dimensions of the boxes that we added in, because I remember Commissioner Ochoa asked for that as well. So those are in there.
Yes.
I'll just briefly comment and say, similarly as the other commissioners, I think this is a great update and incorporates well all the points of discussion that we had, and I think does it sufficiently as well with the language and whatnot. So very good job, Ms. Garner, and thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Okay. So are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this item? Seeing none. Assuming there aren't any on Zoom. Okay, great. So public comments are now closed. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the edits and updates to the utility box program handbook.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And I will second it. Okay, so now we are calling the question. Please enter your vote.
Motion carries 4-0 to approve the utility box art program review with edits by the commission.
Fantastic. Well, this is a speedy meeting. Are there any additional comments by any of the commissioners or staff? Yes.
I just wanted to acknowledge the public comment today, especially about AI and art. Sitting on the Poet Laureate selection committee, I'll be sure to keep that in mind because it's a good note to consider and to discuss with the applicants, especially those that are seriously considered. So thank you. That's it.
I'm sorry. No. Thank you. I didn't get my pointer raised quickly enough to ask Ms. Garner a couple questions on the her report. And the first one is, were sales good with the artwork? I'm curious.
They were better. Yeah, they were better than last year. We don't typically have a lot, but we had like 6, I think, this year,
Perfect.
which was
Okay.
nice. And we did it a little bit different. We had a form they could fill out if they were interested, and we just connected the artist with the buyer.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that. And the other thing, two more things. One is it possible to publicize the Poet Laureate at the Scarecrow Festival with flyers at the community table that the city sponsors?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then finally, thanks to the senior center staff, because really you need to stop into the senior center. They've done a great job organizing the artwork, and the artists were so proud and so excited. So please, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioners, I just want to make a few comments in regards to the art venture. It was my first art venture, and I was definitely very, very impressed with just the kind of artwork that was on display, the professionalism, and then finally, kind of summarizing it up over at ACMA and having that great event over there. So kudos to Lorette for her efforts and the, Parks and Rec staff that helped out, and, just a fantastic job. And thank you, commissioners, for all your support and being there and just representing and being very supportive of this, not only this event, but overall in general. So Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner? Nope. Okay. So we will adjourn in just a moment here, but I do want to say our next meeting is not until the 7th of November at 6 p.m. And so 2 days before that is a very important day. And we want to encourage everyone to vote here in Costa Mesa. We have the mayor and some of our commissioners up, and of course, the presidential election. So thank you so much for tuning in today and being present and supporting the arts in Costa Mesa. We are now adjourned.